Hello friends, welcome back. In our previous sessions, we have seen how to store employee record into the database and how to fetch the records from the database based on ID and as well as how to fetch all the records from the database. We have seen we have seen all these examples and we have written the code and we have seen the outputs in the Postman. Now let's in this session let's see how to update the employee record which are already exist in the database and how to delete the record which is already present in the database. Let's go to controller and start with the coding. And here first we'll write a code to update the value into the database. So for that we have to use the put mapping annotation. So write a code public response entity of response update employee record. So to update the employee record we need to take the which record has to be updated. The specific ID we need to take from the Postman as a input and we need to update that specific record value. So that will take the value in the path variable. So long ID, and this will we need to annotate with put mapping as update. Now create update employee record, pass the ID. This ID is not present in the employee service employee service interface. So go to the service interface and first create this method, and then once we have created this method we need to write its implementation in the implementation class. So now this I'm doing copy paste guys. Now go to the implementation class, open implementation class. Here we need to implement, go to the class and add all implement unimplemented methods. Once we have added this, now we need to write the business logic to fetch and update the record from the database. Now already we have seen how to fetch the record from the database based on the ID. So employee repository, sorry what happened is employee repository dot find by ID, and this is the ID. Now this will give optional of employee model type, so assign these to optional of employee model type and emp model object. Now we fetch the record and we have stored that record into this variable. So next we have to create the employee model object. So let's create employee model is equal to new employee model. Now if this object is present in the database, like if this dot is present, then go and execute the value, fetch the value and assign it to the model. So model is equal to employee model dot get. Now we need to set the values to this model to again update that into the database. I will change only address. Before my address was, let's check if I pass id 1 what was my address. Go to my SQL. If I pass id 1 my address is Bar Dubai UAE. Let's change this to Silicon Oasis UAE. DSO UAE, Dubai Silicon Oasis UAE. Now save this value. Now to save this means to update this value, we need to use the save of model, and this will return model object. And this model object we have to, once we have saved this will be returned and assigned it to the model object, and this we have to return back to the controller. So to return to the controller, let's write the return statement, response entity dot ok dot body, and it's this is generic type of response. Go use the response dot builder dot code is equal to 00, and dot message is equal to employee record has been fetched, has been updated, sorry. And then let's organize this properly. Message, then after this message, then we need to add the body. In the body we have to use the employee helper class to transform our model object to the DTO object, then pass this model, and then control Z, then build. Once we have built this, let's add semicolon, this will return the value. So go to the controller and save this, add the return statement here. So we have written a code to update the value to the database. Let's write a code to delete the value from the database. Same, let's copy paste this and use delete, and here we need to use the delete mapping, and let's change the method name to delete employee record, and we are taking, let's organize imports. Now delete employee record, we have to pass the ID to delete the employee record. Save this file. Now go to the service and copy paste this and just change the name to delete. It's simple guys. In Spring Boot we can write a service very simple and very fast. Now go to the service implementation, add all unimplemented method. Now here we need to delete the record. Okay, now to delete the record, employee repository dot delete by id, we have delete by id. This return type is void, this will not return anything, so we'll pass id and we'll pass, this will not return anything. So let's copy this, just return the message, employee record has been deleted. So let's remove the body is not required, so this is returning to the controller. Here we have return object. Okay guys, we have written the code to update the value into the database and delete the specific record from the database. Let's relaunch my service. We can execute this from the postman. So my Tomcat has been started, so go to the postman. Here copy this and open this one, paste update slash 1. For example, if I pass 1, whatever value we set there, that value has to be updated. For example, if you go to this implementation, I am changing the address. This value I am hard coding. Usually in real time will take the value from the input and as a request object, and that value dynamically will set here. As of now I'm hard coding the value, so let's change this type to put. So let's update. Method not found. It is showing something like method not found. What is the error? Employee slash update. Is there any update? Here we have forgot to add this annotation. Let's rerun. Now our services are started. We have missed this path variable, that's why it has thrown the method not found error. So click. So see, it has updated to DSO slash comma UAE. Let's verify this in the database. Let's refresh this. See, this has been updated to DSO UAE. Now go and add one more field here, one more record, and let's add my village and change to 10, change to 29. Now send. This employee is created. We have created 3 employees till now. Let's see how many employees we have created. See all the 3 employees we are fetching. Now let's delete that employee. Now let's refresh this. In database also we can see there are 3 records, 3 employees are created. Now let's delete the employee. To delete the employee, we have already written the code to delete the employee. We have to pass delete type and the name is delete. Let me check whether I have given this. Sorry guys, I just forgot this path variable declaration. So now let's return. Okay, it has started. Now let's go and execute this delete slash 1. So if I pass 1, the first record will get deleted. I want to delete this second record. Let's delete the second record. See, employee record has been deleted. Now verify. Let's verify from here only. Let's verify from get all. Now we can see 1 and 3. The second record is not available in the database. That's why it has not fetched from the DB. Let's refresh this. See, this has deleted from the database. Thank you very much, friends. Please practice and please subscribe and please watch my videos. Thank you.